But I want to shift really to, hey, now Montana just legalized recreational marijuana. And I want to see about 16 states, somewhere around there. They now have some kind of legalized marijuana use. Most of those, would be recreational, some just medicinal. But more and more states, they're following like dominoes, and they're even defying federal law, because federal law says, hey, no. But
Yeah.
that's not being enforced. My understanding is it's not being enforced at all. And
Mm.
so,
It still has, it's interesting. I know North Dakota, we've legalized medical, but we haven't we voted down recreational in North Dakota. But yeah, that federal part of it, like you go to Colorado and there's dispensaries that are having trouble like with their finances because it's not legal federally, but it is state. They can't necessarily go to banks to save their money or have those transactions, and so they're having to
okay.
leave a bunch of money just kind of in the open as they're doing this business. They can only, I'm not sure if even like credit card companies and stuff will work with them or if they're allowed to, and so they have to do cash transactions, and that's causing a lot of issues for them because it's not legal federally, even though it is
Mhm.
state-wise.
So, what's your reaction? What's your thoughts on, hey, more and more states are legalizing medical marijuana
I
and
I'm
That's all the
recreational?
devil wants to do is get the fight out of you and kill it so you won't labor in prayer anymore. You won't weep before God
I'm cool.
anymore.
I'm cool. I'm fine with medical. I am not fine with recreational. And the reason for that is um when it comes to medical, uh I want to make sure I say this in the right order here. Medical, you have to have a doctor's permission, so you have to have a trained professional's permission in order to take it. And we look at all the other drugs that there are that are addicting as well. You know, doctors, they sign over OxyContin, Advil, uh, uh, and I'm forgetting all these pain medications that we take. Those are drugs as well that we take that are just off the shelf. You can walk into a store and buy. So drugs to help the body with aching and stuff like that. It's medicine. And so if they're using it in that fashion, for me, I'm fine with it. As long as they get a trained professionals approval of it, like a doctor's approval of it, yeah, I'm fine with that. But then when it comes to recreational, I am not fine with that because uh, I think it's uh, first off, we don't know um, the long term effects of marijuana on the body. We know it's a little bit like smoking. You're bringing in fumes if you're deciding to smoke it or eating the edibles or whatever. We don't know the long term effects on it. We don't have a way to police it like we do alcohol. Like alcohol, you have the blow test. You blow, and if you blow too high, then DUI. But then if you make it recreational, like Montana, what are they doing for that? If someone is high on marijuana and they get pulled over driving under the influence, what level is too high and what level isn't? And so there's that.
Uh-huh.
There's what was the other thing I was gonna say?
Is there a way to police it or no?
Not right now. There isn't.
There
No,
isn't
there's
really.
no. Yeah, and so that leaves that issue. What else was it?
Well,
Recreational,
like with instant, well, yeah. Hmm.
and so that leaves that issue. What is? Oh, and in states that have legalized it, they have seen a rise in crime since the legalization of marijuana, and so they don't exactly correlate the two, but like Colorado has seen a rise in crime since they've legalized. The crime rate has been higher in Colorado since the legalization of marijuana, and I'm sure Montana, you guys probably start to see that too, um, which is interesting because you figure that it should lower instead of rise. If recreational marijuana is legalized, that means that all the people who were doing it illegally before will no longer get in trouble. So you should be seeing the crime rate go down, but it's not. It's going up, and so I don't know. I'm against recreational.
See, and
And again, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
yeah, yeah.
Again, going back to alcohol there, you getting drunk is a sin because you're not alert to escape those temptations. It's the same with marijuana. If you get high on marijuana, then you're not alert to escape those temptations. And I think it's the same reasoning why getting drunk is a sin is the same reason why, any type of drug and marijuana and stuff, these hallucinations or these good vibe feelings, they dull your senses and you, I mean, you risk doing other sins. So
It'll be interesting to talk to like a police officer and just get their thoughts on it really. And hey, do you notice more crime, or what implications, what impact
Yeah.
do you think it'll have? That'd be really nice conversation to have.
yeah.
Um, and for medicinal marijuana, I just wanted to look at three different things maybe.
Okay.
And someone goes to their doctor, says, "Hey doc, I've got a hangnail. I need some medicinal marijuana for my hangnail." Is that an appropriate use for
No.
medicinal marijuana? No. And so I guess my point to a degree is, hey, it can be abused.
Yeah.
And like as a Christian, I believe people are sinful and everything. And
Yeah.
I think that even medicinal marijuana can be abused.
Well, it's the same with Oxycontin too, and so that's why
And other
it's,
drugs, yeah.
yeah, it's up to the doctors. Like the doctors have to be responsible for that when it comes to when it's too much, and then when are they starting to get addicted, or when are they just want more. Is marijuana addicting or no? I know there's arguments on both sides of it. What do you think?
I've never done it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can tell you, we're kind of in the same boat. I mean, the first time I can even think anything about marijuana is I was around and it smelled like a skunk. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it smells like a skunk over here. And I went
Yep.
around for probably an hour trying to find the thing. And then finally registered. Well, no, it's not. It's this other stuff.
Yeah. I
And
remember in
yeah.
high school the students, because they would smell it easy, you
Really?
just,
Oh, well.
yeah. Yep.
But hey, let's go a step further actually and say, hey,
Okay.
anxiety. I've got a lot of anxiety and I'm going to go see the doctor and they can write me a prescription for this medical condition of anxiety, maybe PTSD. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to answer both of these questions for you. If the doctor would prescribe a medicine, any other type of medicine, then I would say marijuana is okay in that situation too.
Okay. And see this other situation.
Unless it was like, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Prescription versus off the shelf. If the doctor's saying off the shelf, then no to marijuana, but prescription, if they would prescribe that, then yeah, marijuana type of thing.
So through a doctor still?
Yeah, through the doctor still, yeah.
You're saying.
Oh,
Okay.
for everything, yeah. Yeah, for this stuff, for the marijuana, yeah, through the doctor.
So if someone said, hey, I've got high anxiety, panic attacks, whatever, I'm not going to go through doctor, but I'm going to take recreational marijuana, but it's for this thing, anxiety and all this other stuff. No.
Nope. You need a professional. That's my opinion. You need a professional's opinion. You need a professional's prescription on it. So you can't, and I think that protects you, like the person as well, if you're having to get a prescription from a doctor to do it. Because again, you could abuse it, but if you have someone else that's your dealer, the doctor dealer, I guess you could say, then that keeps you accountable though too. If whatever you're going through, you should have been healed by it by now, and you keep coming back, then the doctor will start getting suspicious and, we'll get you help. It's the same with the other drugs as well. Now, when it comes to anxiety and stuff like that, again, I say if they are given any other type of prescriptive drug, then I would say, okay, on marijuana too. But like, if it's something like, they've been getting headaches because of something, and the doctor's like, yeah, just take an Advil once a week or whatever, you should be fine. Like in those type of situations, no, not to marijuana. So if the doctor would give them a prescription drug, marijuana, yeah, but if not, if it wouldn't be a behind the counter drug, then no.
And I kind of want to go on just a rabbit trail for a second then, because we were talking about alcohol earlier. The Assembly of God has a position paper on alcohol. Marijuana, there's no position paper
something new.
on.
And there's nothing in the Bible about it either.
there's no Bible verse in scripture that says you shall not, take marijuana or,
Yep, not like
take
alcohol.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that something that we could see in the future? Maybe the Assemblies of God nationally, or should just be on a state level should talk into this? I wonder if on the national level, the Assemblies of God will come down with a position or thoughts down on it.
Hmm.
Because like
Yeah. I don't know.
the reason why I'm talking about it is, hey, it's in Montana now. We'll see a lot of people. I know people in several people in their 20s.
Mm,
It's pretty popular, and it's just gonna right now. It's just gonna keep getting more and more popular as it is legalized. More and more people will use it, and it
yeah.
probably won't be people in their 50s who've never touched it. It'll be young people that it's going to impact. And
Yep.
so, like as Christians, as pastors, like we need to know with precision, like, hey, what do we think on these things? We need to know
Mm,
our position and everything, and people are going to have to start thinking through. Not just marijuana now, but even cocaine, even these harder drugs. Yeah. Sign of the times, right?
yeah. Can you see? I don't. I would need to go and see the side effects of all these things. Can you see cocaine or heroin being used for medicinal purposes?
Do you think there could be an argument for doctor prescribing those?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to say either way. I'm not sure if it would be a help because
Yeah, well, we're kind of in the same boat. Like we've never done drugs,
yeah.
never like touched. I've never smoked. I've never done like
Hmm.
any of that stuff, and so I'm not as familiar with this stuff as other people
I
are.
know there's some that are depressants though, but man, I don't know. I feel like there are some prescription drugs that do the same, like have the same side effects as those. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to do more research into that one, I guess. But
And what I would say, like for me, like personally, for me, there's a really high threshold for anyone using marijuana. And maybe the one instance I can actually think of, like real live situation I can think of is I know someone that has migraines and it'll take him out, it'll just wipe him out for an entire day where he can't
mm,
do like anything that day because his head just is pounding and pounding. Well, the doctors will prescribe painkillers,
mm,
and yet those painkillers they can destroy your kidneys, they can destroy your liver.
yeah.
It's really destructive towards those things, and there'll be people that argue, hey, marijuana, it doesn't destroy your lung or your kidney and your liver, like those painkillers do. And so, to
That
me,
we know of with our short amount of research that we have.
and there's probably other side effects from
Yeah.
marijuana, but that's maybe one convincing argument, and that's from like me personally. I'm like really just staunchly against and everything.
Yeah.
um,
Marijuana is a depressant, isn't it? It's not a
you know
uplifter, is it?
you would have think I would have. It is, yeah. Yep.
So I was gonna say, like, well, what about those situations where someone's having mental issues and they're prescribed drugs? But if it's a depressant, then I don't think it
And
would
I
be a
wonder
good.
if it affects everyone the same way.
Yeah, that's true.
I've heard, you take it and you're kind of a couch potato or whatever. And
Hmm.
I've heard a story, a guy, he's taking it and he's in a car full of 5 other people who are on it too. And the guy driving the car is like, whoa, man, I'm driving a car. Just like, whoa. And then the guys in the car are like, oh, whoa, we're in a car. And so it kind of it's an escape. It'll be an escape for
Yeah.
people to escape from their problems. Different drugs take you different places. Marijuana, it's an escape from problems. Other
Yeah.
drugs, hey, they're hallucinogens where you're having hallucinations and things like that.
And and again, I think like alcohol does the same thing and escape from problems too. And so, when it's going back to those two things in that manner. So I taught, I mentioned getting drunk being a sin, but the Bible doesn't necessarily say having a drink is a sin. Um, I think it would depend on why you're having a drink. You know what I mean? Because if you're taking drugs or you're having a drink to escape a reality, that is not the way you're supposed to handle that reality. You're supposed to bring that to God, not go to drugs or go to drink. You know what I mean?
So motivations count. I mean, if someone's
Yeah.
taking marijuana because, oh, there's this peer pressure And
Yeah.
the first time someone takes marijuana, it's probably peer pressure, if we're to be
Mhm.
honest. A friend in high school or wherever, they're pressuring them to take it. And if our motivation is, hey, peer pressure to cave into that, that's not a good motivation. That's not a motivation that honors God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's true.
so some arguments that we'll hear for marijuana is, hey, caffeine is a drug. Caffeine is addictive. Sugar is.
It's not a
People
drug
say-
though.
Some people would say, hey, sugar is a drug.
No, it's not. Just because it's
Sugar-
addictive does not mean it's a drug.
Sugar is addictive. Well, but they use a really broad kind of definition where, hey, you take sugar, you feel better. When I eat chocolate, hey, I feel better.
Yeah.
Caffeine, it can improve your focus. And so caffeine functions entirely different than marijuana. You can take caffeine, be of sound mind, use it to focus on memorizing scripture,
Yeah.
or certain things. So you're not. Yeah.
For me, it gives me the jitters. I don't drink caffeine.
Mhm.
So what I'll do, I have these chocolate covered coffee beans. So if I feel tired, or if I'm like on a long ride or something, I'll just pop a couple of those edibles, chocolate covered coffee bean edibles, to wake me up a little bit. And that helps just to wake me up. But in that way, yeah. But at the same time, I mean, too much is too much too. If you go the complete opposite direction and then you start having headaches in the morning, if you ran out of coffee, that's not good either.
And the things in life that God gives us, like, we need to be master over it. If coffee is
Yeah.
like our master, we can't function without it, then it's being ruler over us and everything. And
Yeah.
that makes me think back in college. Oh, what year was it? I drank 9 cups of coffee, and I think I made the mistake of telling a friend, and they said, hey, Mark, we're going to have an intervention for you. You
Yeah.
can't drink any more coffee. So I said, I'll go without coffee for a week, but then you have to shave your unibrow. And so we made that agreement, and I did it. I switched to tea, no coffee for a week.
Tea's cheating though. It's pretty much the same thing.
It is kind of cheating in a sense, but I did it, no coffee for a week. I had chocolate covered coffee beans and like hid them in my desk and everything. And when no one was around, I'd have my chocolate covered coffee beans. Still like in spirit, no. But even coffee though, I mean, it's hard to overcome just coffee. I'll try to give up. There's periods where I'll try to just give up coffee.
Yeah.
I notice I feel tired. My senses are kind of dulled in a sense. I'm just doing that.
There's other things that can help you not feel tired too.
Getting more sleep,
Working out, so you have more energy throughout the day. The body's in better shape.